Tuesday morning. I've just arrived at my first home visit. So yesterday was the bank holiday, so I didn't do any filming and I was doing family activities and stuff. But today, I was up at 5 a.m. We are applying for our CQC registration. And what's really challenging at the moment, weirdly, is transitioning from these real high level tasks, which sounds silly to say, but this CQC thing requires a lot of application to make sure that we are ticking all the boxes required to be approved. To then transition from that into coming in to do the day-to-day clinic visits with quite complex patients is actually quite challenging from a mindset point of view. I mean, seeing the patient, doing the stuff with them is relatively straightforward, but I actually have to switch off from those tasks, which I know are super important for the growth of the business, so then come and focus on the day-to-day things. And as much as I enjoy the day-to-day things, knowing in the back of my head that I still need to go back and sit down and what I need to complete, what needs to be actioned, who I need to speak to, is becoming quite stressful in a weird way. I thought it'd be quite easy just to step in and see people as and when needed based upon the demand. But I'm finding it increasingly difficult. As I've got another meeting later on today with a marketing agency, which can be a big decision on what we do as a clinic and whether we go with them or not, and the costs associated are quite high. But it's looking at bringing everything together in one place so we've got a singular point of contact. And they're experts in this particular field. But like I say, it's the development of us as a business, because we have them dotted around everywhere at the moment. We then try and bring it all together, but we're not actually working with anyone who is specialist in healthcare. They're specialists in what they do from the marketing side of it, but they're not specialist healthcare marketeers. And that's what we're looking as the next level up to how we grow this business. So I've got to then start preparing for that. There's specific numbers that they want to know about what we're doing, but there is also a risk that I'm going to get booked for clinic scenarios at that time, because we're trying to focus on a particular location. So I don't want to block myself off from that to then focus on this meeting, but also I have the meeting in place, so the chances are I'd probably postpone that meeting for another day when I'm on my admin duties, but it was as soon as I could fit it in because I want to get the answers done. So yeah, they sound really simple challenges, but they're definitely ongoing ones which I need to get better at. But anyway, for the rest of this week, we have got loads and loads of stuff happening. We've got more interviews coming up. We've got loads of meetings as always, but my plan is to keep you updated as we go. Tuesday afternoon, coming into the evening, I have just finished all of my home visits. So I had 4 home visits today, all super interesting cases. The first case was someone with some moderate hip OA, but they've got this abnormal gait where there's a huge fear emphasis on how they move because they're worried about making the situation worse. So a lot of what we're doing at the moment is movement re-education and trying to teach the body and the brain of how it should move collectively together as in optimal ways. So there's a lot of barriers there because the fear factor of creating more harm is what we're trying to undo. But then the movement that she needs to do is the exact movement she thinks is going to create the harm. So I'm trying to break that down and work with her on that thing. We then had a patient who has suffered 2 falls in the space of 6 weeks. So he has got what is called an osteochondral lesion of his tibial plateau area. And basically what this is there is a small fracture, if you like, of, it's not a fracture, that's probably the wrong way of using it, but there's a breakage of the cartilage and the bone. And that's where they talk about the lesion. And that is going to take a little bit of time to repair. But in the meantime, what he's doing is he's offloading that leg completely and therefore not putting any force through it. And the deterioration in the muscles is really evident from some of the pictures that we took of it. But also that means he's shifting all of the weight onto the good leg. And the long-term problem is if he starts to learn to walk in this new manner with the good leg at the moment and fearful of putting the strength or putting the pressure through the bad leg, the end result will be that he'll end up with big time problems on the existing good leg. So trying to again re-educate and get them to see the benefit of why they need to load up the other leg and in how they do it safely and not create more harm. So we did that. Then went to see my patient who I spoke about the other week. He is massively suffering from depression at the moment, and what is key and what I need to make sure I'm doing here is signposting them to the right services that might be able to help. the biggest barrier to him taking part in the rehab at the moment is himself and the environment that he's in. And what we don't currently have is a network or pathway that we can send on to for people to come and touch base and make sure that he is okay. There's some things that he's saying which gives me huge causes for concern. And he's looking at things like assisted dying and talking about the laws behind that and stuff like that. So that gives me anxiety as such, to say the least, of what is he going to do when I'm not there, and what do I need to do to make sure that he is catered for in the best manner possible. And it's not something that I can necessarily do myself, but I need to find the person who is relevant for him. And then finally was my last patient, who was in hospital for 12 weeks. They didn't do much intervention with her, and so we've got a lot of muscle wastage. She was bedbound. We've managed to start getting her up and walking and more mobile around the house, back to what she was usually doing. But again, she's got a huge fear at the moment of falling. So my role and job is to create the confidence and lower the fear, give her strategies to ensure that she isn't going to end up falling, which is the one thing that she fears she's going to do. So we look at strategies to show her how she can prevent that happening, and also using the people who live there to assist with being able to help with that. So again, a lot of what we do is, yes, there are strength-based things for people to do, but there's more to physio than just giving out a series of exercises. A lot of it can be due to the fact that people lack confidence in what they're doing, or unsure what they should be doing, and more often than not, they just do nothing. And that doing nothing creates bigger problems in the long term. So our role is to come in and intervene super quickly, and make sure that people understand what is safe and what is not safe from a rehab perspective. Not necessarily from like a moving around the home, but the person who I saw second today, who had the osteochondral lesion, we were talking about what is normal to feel and what is not normal to feel. And that for him was a big thing, because he was unsure when he was doing things of like, should it feel this way? Should it not feel this way? So we went through loads of things like that, and hopefully he's got lots of insight now into what he should be doing and how we can get that better. So yeah, that was my day of home visits. I've now got a call with our marketing team, or the marketing team who we're potentially going to be working with. So we're going to be running through some pieces of information on there, and I want to find out a little bit more about how they can help us. Everyone thinks that this business malarkey is easy, and yeah, just we're busy. It's just, he just sits there. I wish, mate. I wish. Sure.
This is what we want, and clinicians are always just.
No, of course, and it's a big, like we try and do loads of stuff internally with the therapist, and we're also working now on, like we're trying to go for, we are going to put our application in imminently for getting CQC, because we want private GPs. More the private GPs. We've got a group of GPs who want to come and work with us, and offer private healthcare. They've seen what we're doing with the physio side of it.
So you want to be the one-stop shop for any healthcare related?
Honestly, like I want to own North London. So we want CQC to be able to offer that, but I'm not entirely certain I'm going to go down that route.
That's reassuring.
That's the biggest thing at the moment, which is what holds us back from growing. And yeah, but my question is, are you the best people who can do that? But yeah, but my question is,
too much competition.
My question is a yes or no. Are you the best people for it? I remember I did an interview with a physio once before, and I asked him, how good are you? And he's like, I'm the best. And I ended the interview, I was like, you're hired, mate. You're done. You're in. And he has been outstanding. He backed himself. He was like, mate, pick me. I'll show you. And I'm like, the best.
Is he all right?
He's good. No, he's good. He's very, very good. He demonstrates everything that I want from a human and from a physio. He cares. He's keen to learn. He does all of the things that I'd want. But in 4 years' time, that should be 2.5 million. And where we rank at the moment, like from the organic side of things, the map side of it, the advert side of it, we're doing well. How deep does this go? And I know that the argument with data was like, well, if you get too deep, you almost get just overwhelmed. I'm like, Let me decide if I get overwhelmed. Okay, just finished my meeting there. Lasted about an hour and 15, which was longer than my half hour that I'd anticipated for. But a really, really positive meeting. Loads of good insights, which we're going to take away and present it to the team tomorrow. And my hope is that we're actually going to jump in with this team and get going with them. Now, I do feel a little bit bad upon our existing team that we work with externally, and they have been with us for a long time, and they have been really, really good. But this feels like the right step for us to be able to take the business to the next level, and hit them goals of what I want us to do. I've got lofty ambitions I was sharing on there about how looking to get to £2.5 million revenue in the next 5 years. And I feel that they're going to be the right team to help lead us down that path. And along with the recruitment strategies that we bring in, the marketing expert who's coming to join us in a few weeks' time, I'm feeling excited about the pathway that this might all take and where it goes to. Having to redo that because the SD card was not recording appropriately. We were just discussing how happy Gemma is with working at 7:30 p.m. at night. Hopefully, there we go, that's a bit of a better response. Wearing my jumper as well, which is dated, to say the least. I've got to do an interview with a chiropractor now who was a former student of mine. So hopefully that goes well. It's a new service which we haven't really considered offering, but he's reached out to me. So we're going to see what he has to say and how he sees things working, etc., etc. So we're going to do that. And then me and Gemma, she doesn't know it yet, we're going to have a meeting to find out how today went. There we go.
I can tell you already.
Well, I don't want to know about it at the moment. We're going to save it for after I do the interview. Goodbye. Time is 8:15 p.m. Just finished the interview with the chiropractor. It all went well. It's a student who I remember teaching, and he was a good kid. So I'm hoping that we're going to hand him over for the interview process now for face-to-face. And we'll see how that goes. But we never really thought about doing chiropractor as a service, but it can add into what we're trying to achieve of being the main hub in North London of people to come to. So by adding in that service, if the interview goes well, will be a good addition to what we're trying to deliver upon. But it'll be interesting to see. He's only just qualified, but seems really enthusiastic and passionate about it. So let's see how that interview goes. And hopefully in the very near future we'll be offering chiropractor services alongside all the other things we do. Right, Tuesday morning. No, it's not Tuesday morning, it's Wednesday morning. We've got Grace, who is one of our physios here. She's leading a CBD session on biomechanics?
Yes.
Nice. So we're going to do a little bit of filming of the start of that and some little clips of it as we go through, just to try and show you how we lead the internal CBD that we do in clinic, as well as when we have the consultants coming. So we've got some consultants coming in the next few weeks. Actually, that's a lie. I think it's in June they're coming in. But we try and combine the external ones with the internal stuff. And yeah, Grace, you've done this one before, haven't you? Part one. So this is part two, yeah?
Part two, yeah.
Oh, so it's not the same, it's not a repeat of the... Oh, nice. Oh, good. There we go. So we're all going to learn something new today. So yeah, we'll do some filming as we go through on this one as well. Just got back from clinic where we finished the CPD with our physio Grace. We did it on biomechanics, and it was really interesting to see how she treats people with the particular condition of lower back pain. And we were talking about how the biomechanics of how we move can influence the mechanical pain that we might feel for our back pain as such. And while she was going through it, the really good thing about it was the openness of everyone to be critical of the biomechanical theory. Now, that's not to say the biomechanical theory is incorrect, but it was really healthy to see that everyone is comfortable with challenging what their notions are, so that we don't just kind of become so narrow-minded with how we treat particular conditions. So yeah, that was really refreshing. The whole CBD lasted just over 2 hours in total, so there's a lot of information to go through, and hopefully it'll be really, really beneficial for those who are in attendance. Having left there, I've been given a report that we have got a leak in our Barnet clinic. So I'm in contact with the landlords of the property at the moment to try and resolve that. But that's the fourth time it's happened now. And they keep trying to repair it above, but they just do like a slapdash repair, and it's not resolving what the issue is. So I'm getting really frustrated with the fact that they're not solving that. So I need to try and work out a longer term solution to it. But this is the problem with when you're renting, and why I'm really, really determined to have our own clinic space, which we own, because we would invest the money into actually repairing it properly rather than doing what these lot are doing and creating problems further down the line for us, because they as I say, they've done it before and they've come back in. So I'm getting mega frustrated with that. I've got a meeting in about 15 minutes time with Gemma, who does our operation side of things. We're going to be talking about some of the strategies that we're looking forward to or looking into as well, and coming up with plans of how we better improve the overall service of what we do. And I saw something interesting on LinkedIn the other day, which was, are we a healthcare business or are we a service-based business? And I think that if we don't take into consideration that we are a service-based business and link in all the things that happen within kind of the hospitality industry, if you go to a hotel or a restaurant, the service that you're given determines the experience that you have. And we need that mindset as well in what we do. Yes, we are healthcare professionals. Yes, we provide advice on how to change pain or reduce the chances of pain and give accurate diagnosis and stuff like that. But ultimately, there is a service-based thread that runs through everything that we do. And we need to be really, really in tune with that in order to make sure that the patients leave with loads of high satisfaction and really, really positive words to talk about. So that's what my meeting is with Gemma today about, to kind of go through that. I've got a meeting later on with a network group that I'm in. So I do that online. So I'll be tuning into that later on to discuss some project ideas that I've got and get their feedback on it. Because a lot of the people in that group, they are much more advanced than me in my stage of career at the moment. So sharing my ideas with them, they're really, really helpful with giving information back. So it's a really worthwhile network to be a part of. And then the other thing as well, I'm just looking at some of the financial data at the moment to see where we're at as a clinic. And I need to speak with our accounts team later on, which is made up just from Natasha at the moment. But nonetheless, it is the start of a team which will grow as we grow. But there's just certain things that I need to go through with her to get more clarity on in order for us to know where we're at from the money side of things, what we can invest into, and what we also need to kind of purchase at the moment to keep us moving forwards. I've also been spending some time on LinkedIn with reaching out to some of my network for job opportunities that we have. We are constantly trying to recruit for it, and I think I need to make a bit of a better plan for how I go about my recruitment stages. It can often feel like it's when we need it, we start posting, whereas I think that we need a better strategy for being more regular, more consistent, a more clear message of what we do in order to be able to attract the best people. So I'm going to start working on a bit of a program or plan for that, and then the next thing is to start implementing it. Time 6:45 p.m. As you can see, I barely moved today. I had to go and deal with the kids when they got in, but I'm back at the office now, and what I'm going to be doing here, I need to do the weekly update to share how we're progressing as a clinic, and give some key updates with what we're doing. One of them being, I've got the email in front of me here about we are going to be going ahead with a new marketing agency who we're going to be working with, who are going to be doing a lot of our work in the background, and helping to boost us and promote the relevant services or the various services that we do. So I'm going to be setting up the meeting with them about how we transition over with them, and then looking forward to having them working alongside us and helping us get to where we want to go to. It was really, really good. Like I spoke to them about the goals of what we want to achieve, where we want to be at in 5 years, so they're really understanding of what it is that we want to be and where we want to get to. So yeah, super excited about that. It's going to bring some changes though. There's a lot of internal changes which need to happen to maximise the opportunity that presented itself here. But the thing I like most about this is that they are a reasonably big team and they are going to handle all of our stuff. So it's almost like a subdivision of the company in a way. That's how I'm viewing it, at least. It comes at a cost. There's no denying that. But hopefully it's the right decision for us and is going to help move us in the direction of where we want to be at. So that's happening on that side of things. I've got a meeting to attend now as part of a network group that I'm in. So going to discuss some ideas I have from a business perspective and wait to hear what their feedback is on the decisions that I need to make. Super, super powerful group. They're super helpful, really, really open with their advice and feedback. I'd highly recommend it to people to kind of look for them networks that work for you and join them, because the value that you get from it, yes, it's a commitment with attending the meetings, and there is an element of expectation that you share your knowledge with them. But most of the people in this group are beyond where I'm currently at. And listening to their advice and their feedback is really, really beneficial. And I'm very, very aware of the level that they're at. So when they give advice, I massively take it on board, but it's super helpful. And like I say, if business owners are not doing that within their field that they operate in, then yeah, I highly recommend you do it. So yeah, gonna get onto that and then yeah, get cracking with the weekly update as well. Right, that is evening over time, 10 past 10. These timestamps are quite helpful for kind of giving guidance on where I'm at with everything. Right, did my meeting, ran past my problems with the people within my network, and thankfully, it sounds harsh, but some of the problems that they're facing are a lot bigger than my ones at the moment. So that gives me kind of a little bit of confidence in the way that I approach what's going to happen. Now, tomorrow I'm going to find out a little bit more about said problem. I've got the team who are working on that particular project who are going to come back to me with their findings, and then we're going to make a decision based upon that. The problem in question, I've got a property which I'm renovating at the moment, and there seem to be some structural movements which they're a bit concerned with. So they're going to be digging out some test holes tomorrow just to check the foundation of the building to make sure that there isn't anything untoward. Now, the advice I've been given from showing the picture to the group of people who I know is that we can tie some of the parts of the building back into each other and just use some steel frame lintels instead of the wooden ones, because they suspect that where there is like a wooden lintel above the window, that where that's got wet over the years, that's kind of expanded, pushed the bricks out, and made everything slightly distorted. So I'm hoping that the results of the test drill holes tomorrow will come back and be more positive, because that will help solve a potentially big problem that I've got. But also, after that meeting, I then went and started completing some of the additional work on our new booking system that we're going to be changing over to. And I've got a meeting tomorrow with the team who take charge of our advertising currently. I'm going to talk to them about some of the things that they're showing up at the moment as issues is the wrong word, but just giving me a bit of an insight into what it is that we need to do to keep pushing ourselves forwards and making sure that we're top of the pops as such when it comes to who you're searching for physiotherapy. So Thursday, 20 past 8, same seat. I've been here all day pretty much. Yes, I had to go and sort the kids out outside and get them into their required places, i.e. bed. But yeah, I spent the whole of my day sat at this desk working on different projects. To give you a quick update, I did a quick screening interview with a physio who we're going to take forward to the next round. That was a really, really positive conversation. So I'm really, really hopeful that they would be a new addition to the team as well, which would be fantastic. We can get this team bigger and bigger and bigger. We can meet the demand that we currently have. So that's that. I am just about to go on and do our weekly update. So I've missed the last 2 or 3 weeks, simply and mainly because I've been so swamped with other things, I forgot the important thing of updating everyone. So it's a poor excuse. I'm going to jump onto it now, let's do the update and send it out to them. And I will film here as we go so you can hear what I'm sharing with everyone. Here, the reminder, reputation outweighs profit at all times. And I'm stressing that point here today because I'm going to share with you the profit and loss over the last few months. I want you to see what we're doing as a business so you can really understand why the expectations and the pressures are there. We are about to apply for our CQC status as well. So we're going to send an application off to have that registered so we can provide private GP appointments, develop our 4 existing clinics to full fitness and health hubs with access to a wide range of healthcare services. Locations will be between 4,000 to 6,000 square foot each. I am constantly looking for sites that would meet these needs. Just coming over here to the culture part. This is a big thing for me, really, really big thing. And maybe I don't emphasize it enough. The values that we hold internally are these here: ownership, accountability, and responsibility. And what I don't ever want to see is blame, excuse, denial, which is it's a punchy number, but it seriously puts us in the top clinics in the country. Having so many meetings at the moment with consultants or with different external agencies who are interested in working with us, and the feedback that I'm getting from them of how we operate as a business, and I don't believe they're just saying these things to me for the sake of it, but they want to work with us. They recognise the size of where we're at, what we're working towards, what we're aiming to achieve, and that's a reflection of everything that you lot are doing. The reason being is, when I link into what I'm gonna share with you in a minute, is whilst it's important for me and us to reward people for what they do, and it's really, really important for me actually for that to happen, it has to tie in with the business strategy of what we're trying to achieve as a group. I don't want that to be the mindset. The mindset always has to be coming back to this here, that reputation has to outweigh profit at all times. I want to share with you the P&L stuff. So I'm not going to bore you about that at the moment. What I am going to share with you though is this here. Tash has done all the accounts, I believe, and this is our operating revenue to date. Everything that I'm trying to share with you here, as confusing or as crazy as it may sound as I'm saying it, they're all the things which you have to be aware of in order for us to be successful collectively here as a business. And if we are collectively successful as a business, and I will continue to share this, I promise you. 32 minutes of update. There was a lot of stuff for me to go through there, and I want people to hear what I have to say there. I want them to understand where I'm coming from. The more that they understand, the more I'm hopefully going to see them engage with what we're, not that they're not engaging, but I really, really, really want them to be so kind of committed and passionate about this, because this all excites me. And if everyone else shares that excitement, it just makes it a much better place to be in. Friday morning, clinic, the one and only Gemma.
Can we do a recording of us?
Yeah?
Right, so if can it see us all?
Not if you put it...
Come.
Oh, what's your plan?
To show everyone what we look like today.
Ah, right.
I might.
There you go, everyone.
We look the same.
It's what happens when you work and live with your partner. You do everything the same. Everything the same. So yeah, that is the highlight of our day at the moment, that we look exactly the same, and we're really proud. I'm really happy, and I'm glad that's all been caught on camera. Now, let's get back to what we were talking about originally.
Should we walk me back in what I said?
Can do, but we could talk about it just openly, because what we are looking at the moment is it's Friday and clinic is
Let's do a little walk around.
quiet. Not quiet through demand, it's
Room
quiet.
number 4, room number 3, number 2 in use, room number 1 empty. Gym quiet this morning. And the phone's not ringing. Marco's not speaking to anybody.
Oh, yeah. So yeah. But it's simply a recruitment thing. It's not anything to do with lack of demand. I know the phone that we're ringing at the moment, but even with follow-ups and stuff, we can't put anyone in at these times because we don't have anyone.
Maybe we don't have the demand. We've got a physio. Maybe we need another therapist in the room delivering a different therapy.
Different service, yeah, but it just brings with it other complications, as you found out yesterday.
We've had two aesthetics technicians inquire about renting the room.
As in coming in to visit, or
Come in to rent a room.
no, do they come and visit us, or do they call us?
Marco
Right.
took the information for the first one. What about the second one? Worth reviewing.
Yeah. I think it needs to tie in there with what we're trying to do with the CQC stuff. And then, yeah, make it happen there. So we're trying to get CQC at the moment. We've got the application ready to go. That will tie in with offering other services as well. But yeah, it increases things. I was thinking about what our conversation was yesterday, when you said to me about how you noticed that there's a change in me today. And I was thinking about the saying that I heard, which was like the bigger you grow and the more that takes on, someone likened it to just driving a faster car, and it's like the car just travels faster. Problems, the same way when you drive, that there's problems going to exist, but the problems just come at you faster. And the thing is, if you hit the problem, it just creates bigger impact because you're driving faster. That's how things feel at the moment. That it's not, the problems aren't necessarily huge problems, but they're coming faster, and they're hitting harder. So that's why yesterday I was a bit like, no. I spent all day, I said to the camera, it's like, I was all day at the desk yesterday pretty much the whole day. And it's, again, just dealing with things. So I'm excited for our meeting today. We've got to meet with Gemma now, and I'm sure that there's going to be no problems added to my list. On my way back from clinic Friday night, I've just been up at Colindale. I've taken on a new shift pattern there just to help meet the demand at the moment, because it's a clinic which we want to give a bit of attention and focus to. We've got loads and loads and loads of staff at all the other ones. Our Colindale is lacking a little bit, so I've set foot in there. I'm doing my Tuesday and Friday clinic there, and the weird thing is I really, really enjoy it. And the reason why I'm talking about this here now is, if I try and think about what do I believe I'm best at, I definitely think I'm best at seeing patients and delivering on that side. I'm talking about my own personal skill set here, not that I'm better than anyone else, but where is my ease? And my ease is definitely in that. However, the problem with it is it doesn't give me the full fulfillment. Now, as much as I enjoy seeing them, and I genuinely am super passionate about the profession and what I do and all of that, it's the fulfillment in being the best around for us as a group. So it's less so about me as an individual, because I could just do it on my own, and I could work to be the best physio around and things like that, but I don't actually think that would give me true fulfillment. The fulfillment comes from having the group and having the team and everyone working together to achieve the same goal. And yeah, that's why it's a weird feeling, because in clinic it's easy, if I'm honest. It's actually quite nice doing clinic, weirdly, because it takes me away from the other stresses I have to think about during the day. And I had my whole day of home services as well today. But yeah, just trying to kind of work out what is the end goal that I want from all this all is a constant question, because it would be easier just to do my own thing and be an individual physio and work for myself. But like I say, it doesn't give me the true fulfillment. But I don't know what I need to be truly fulfilled, and that's an answer that I need to come up with, because otherwise it will just be keep push, drive to try and get to an end result. But without knowing what the end result is, I'm just going to keep going forever and keep pushing it. And at the moment, it's doable, it feels achievable to keep going for the next thing. But there has to come an end moment where we kind of sit there and say, right, we've reached where it needs to be and we don't need to keep driving this forwards. maybe it won't come, I don't know. But yeah, or maybe the end is something huge and massive, which is going to take me the whole of my lifetime to achieve. But that's where my mind's at the moment with this drive home. Anyway, that is going to wrap up this week's blog. I've not done a wrap up before. I've always just kind of cut it. I've never had to really think. And I'm starting to think a little bit more strategically now, because we have our new marketing guy coming on soon, and he's going to take over all of this and put it all together and make this channel the best channel that there is. So I'll see you all next week.